Hey guys, Grim here. Gonna make a very short video this time. We're just gonna talk about a few things that I mixed up at the last video. I actually felt a little bit bad telling you guys I don't know the names of the indicators, because there's actually a really good manual that says all those things. I don't fly by the procedures in the manual. I don't spend all my days memorizing the manual. But I do look stuff up in it. It's pretty useful. It's made by a guy named Quantify. I'm going to leave a link in the description below. The manual gets updated all the time. It's actually for the FA-26B, which is the next aircraft after this one. But a lot of the stuff is the same. A lot of it is applicable. It carries over. When I was learning how to play, I looked stuff up in there when I didn't know how to do it. So basically, we're going to talk briefly about the manual. I'm going to tell you the names of the indicators that I didn't know last time. I'm going to tell you about what flaps actually do. I'm going to show you a quick little demonstration. And that's going to be about it for this video. So let's get started, shall we? Okay, so basically, the W symbol up there that's not quite to the 5-degree mark. See the W there? That is called the flight path indicator, and that's where the nose of my airplane is facing at. And it never, ever, ever goes there. Where it does go is where the circle with the 3 lines coming out of it just underneath that is, and that is called the velocity vector. That's where my airplane is actually going. And I swear to you, no matter what I do, it will never ever be where the nose is going. And once again, the difference in degrees of angle between those two is called the angle of attack, which is the number next to the little fish symbol over on the left side there, number 4 right now. And if that gets too big, if it gets to be about a 20 or so, the engine will stall. So now, what about flaps? See, I've got flaps over here, 0, 1, and 2. What the heck is that even? Well, the flaps basically change the way your airplane behaves in the air. I have 0 flaps right now. That means I'm flying normally. 1 is half flaps and 2 is full flaps. Okay? So, what we're basically going to do is I'm going to turn up my speed, and I'm going to set the aircraft so that the velocity vector is just at the horizon mark, so that I have straight and level flight as close as I can here. I'm actually going to take my afterburner back off. You can see over on the right side the vertical indicator. Okay, I'm going down a little bit. It's not quite that easy to get it exactly right. Now I could easily just hit the autopilot here, the altitude, and that'll automatically handle it for me. That's very nice. I use it all the time. But for purposes of this demonstration, I'm going to turn it off. So what do flaps do? So I'm flying along here. I've got my airplane just about trimmed up. That means it's flying straight and level, so it's not gaining altitude, it's not losing altitude, it's straight and level flight. And all of a sudden I throw in the flaps number 2. Now watch what happens to the indicators that we just talked about. Okay, so it's throwing my airplane up in the air, right? What I did is I'm trading in speed. My speed is starting to drop down now. I added more drag to my aircraft. So I'm going to slow down a little bit, but I changed the way my aircraft behaves. I'm giving it a lot more lift. So you notice now that the situation is a little bit different. The W, which is the flight path indicator, I'm trying to teach myself the right word here, is actually below the velocity vector, and that doesn't normally happen. If I let go of the stick, I'm going to start to climb. That's because I have the flaps all the way down at 2. If I go back to 0, you're going to see that those two indicators switch places again. And now I have to pull back on the stick in order to stay at the horizon. If I let go, I'm slowly going to start to decline. If I was to drop my throttle down, I'll start to decline a lot faster. Okay? So that's the difference in behavior. So what happens if I go to position 1 on the flaps? Will my speed drop? Will my indicators change place? Let's see. So actually I do start to lose a little bit of speed, and I do start to climb, and my indicators haven't really changed place yet, but they would have if I did not put my hand back on the stick. But now when I let go, actually you see that the velocity indicator is still staying below the flight path indicator, but they're very close together. But I'm just climbing a lot slower than I was before. So that's half flaps. Now a lot of manuals, a lot of pilots, they say you need to land on full flaps. Well, that's probably because that's the way that real pilots probably do it. In this game, I really don't like landing on full flaps all that much. The aircraft seems to become very unstable when my speed gets slow enough and I have full flaps on, and I'm trying to get the aircraft to go down to the landing pad, but it's fighting me. It's pushing back up. I really don't like it. I much prefer to land on number 1 flaps. We're going to talk about landing in the next video, actually. Okay, 2 videos from now. We're going to talk about the navigation computer and GPS coordinates in the next video. The video after that, we're going to cover landing. So that's it for this video. See you next time, everybody. Grim out.